They say it's normal to be mean to your crush, but Akatoru never believed that theory. He's just trying to enter his dorm in peace, but suddenly a massive soundquake echoes from inside his room. He's shaking with irritation, trying to keep his composure, which is a mistake because the culprit is none other than Iroha. She spawned inside his room, singing her heart out like she owns the place. She's sprawled out and humming, completely ignoring the fact that she's trespassing, so Akatoru finally hits his limit. The MC snaps into rage mode instantly. He storms in and yanks the power cord, deleting her music quest before she can even finish the verse. Iroha is completely unfazed, greeting him cheerfully before lecturing him about barging in, which is peak audacity considering this is literally his room. Her smugness is truly op, and Akatoru is just trying to stop her from disturbing the whole server. He tells her to lower the volume, but instead of nerfing her noise, she decides to troll him instead. She starts teasing him maliciously, implying that he's only there because he wants to touch her. Akatoru shuts her down with a cold hit, stating he has zero interest in her weird antics. Seriously, her non-stop chatter is giving him a massive headache. Then Iroha pulls a pro-gamer move and accuses him of trying to catch her changing, even threatening to call the police. It's ironic because Akatoru is the one who should be calling them for her breaking and entering. But he realizes the NPCs in this world would never believe him over her. She plays the victim card with S-rank efficiency. Iroha loves asserting her dominance over the MC at every turn. She even lies flat on his bed, trying to bait him by emphasizing her chest, but Akatoru has maxed out his focus. He looks away immediately, but then notices she's hidden the dorm key in her cleavage storage. He gave her that key, but that doesn't mean she can just auto-spawn in his room whenever she wants. She keeps pushing her luck, teasing that he'll eventually start fantasizing about her, and that's the final straw. Akatoru snaps, grabs a spray bottle, and yeets water directly onto her face to cool her down. Naturally, this just triggers another shouting match. Iroha claims she's basically his sister since she's his friend's sibling, but Akatoru rejects that plotline, calling her a complete stranger. She continues to press his buttons, farming for a reaction until something interrupts. Suddenly, Akatoru's phone rings with an urgent quest. It's his uncle calling. He glares at Iroha, warning her that his entire future is on the line, so she better not glitch the call. She reluctantly agrees to stay in NPC mode for a minute. His uncle Makoto is the high-level boss of HPW, a massive entertainment company. He's calling about Akatoru's bold move to skip the standard entrance exam and apply directly. Makoto isn't fully sold on the speedrun, but since they're family, he's willing to provide a secret mission. Suddenly, the uncle asks if Akatoru has a girlfriend, which catches our MC and Iroha completely off guard. Immediately, Iroha's eyes light up with mischief mode. She's definitely plotting something. Akatoru sees the danger coming and warns her to stop, but she completely ignores his defense. Instead, she leans in and starts making strange noises just to sabotage the audio. Panicking, Akatoru lies and says it's just a cat he adopted, which is a classic rookie mistake. Makoto starts asking for cat stats, and since Akatoru can't answer, the situation becomes super suspicious. Iroha refuses to back down and keeps trolling, making Akatoru mutter curses while his uncle gets more confused. Desperate to maintain the lie, Akatoru pretends the cat is attacking him to explain the noise. Eventually, Makoto pieces it together and assumes Akatoru is just hiding a girlfriend. Akatoru tries to shove Iroha away while denying the relationship, and luckily Makoto seems pleased. He's happy there's no girlfriend in the picture and promises to explain the application details soon. After the call, Iroha is back to being a nuisance, rolling on his bed and demanding a drink. Akatoru just sighs and tells her to go get it herself, leaving him totally drained. The next day, Akatoru is in his deep thinker mode, writing in his notebook about how to secure his future until a wild friend appears. Ozuma, his best friend, collapses into the chair looking like his stamina bar is at 0. Luckily, Akatoru already carried the team by taking notes for him. To pay him back, Ozuma invites him for a post-class snack quest. Akatoru is always impressed by Ozuma's vibe, but the friend turns the compliment right back. He points out that beneath the cold exterior, Akatoru has a genuinely good heart. Even though our MC claims everything is calculated, Ozuma admires how much he looks out for everyone, including Iroha. Ozuma correctly guesses that Iroha has been raiding Akatoru's dorm again, teasing that maybe she's actually simping for him. Akatoru isn't convinced, believing she just enjoys the chaotic gameplay. Ozuma tries to explain it's her weird way of showing affection, but Akatoru stands firm in his belief that if she liked him, she wouldn't torment him. Suddenly, a wild teacher enters the room with a fiery aura, warning the students to lock in. Everyone's posture is instantly buffed, and homeroom officially kicks off. After class, a classmate tells Akatoru that a cute first year is waiting for him, and we all know who it is. Yep, Iroha is camped out by the door. She tries to act like a sweet angel, but Akatoru tells her to stop pretending and drop the act. Instead of getting nerfed, Iroha doubles down, acting wholesome in front of the class to make Akatoru look like the villain. She asks to walk home alone together, and when he reacts loudly, she seizes the moment for a massive prank. The MC is startled, and the whole atmosphere shifts. Iroha suddenly declares to the whole room that they are officially a couple. The entire class gasps as she keeps the scene going with high-tier acting. She even sheds fake tears, leaving Akatoru completely flustered and confused. Ozuma pulls up to see what all the hype is about. Iroha doubles down, telling him they're going on a private date, causing Akatoru to panic drag her away. He grabs her hand and pulls her aside for a serious, "What are you doing?" talk. Even face to face, she keeps the lie alive, insisting that they're together. She reveals she's doing this to help him impress his uncle by giving him a fake girlfriend. She smugly says he's lucky to have her, but Akatoru is not having it at all. He tells her to stay out of his business because his future is serious. But before he can dip, Iroha suddenly hits him with a back hug. She whispers that the future doesn't matter, and with tears in her eyes, she says she wants to be with him forever. For a split second, Akatoru thinks she's finally being sincere and drops his guard. But just as he's about to fall for it, Iroha bursts out laughing, revealing the whole thing was a total prank. She roasts him for being so gullible and teases him about his red ears. The MC is so flustered his face is heating up, and he's officially done with her games. He yells that he'll never believe another word she says, declaring war on her antics. He chases her down the stairs, but she manages to escape with her speed stats. Later, he meets his uncle Makoto at a cafe to talk about joining the company. Makoto mentions a guest is coming, but wants a private one-on-one session first. He brings up the fact that Akatoru already successfully released a game. Akatoru clarifies it was a group effort by the Fifth Floor Alliance, with him as the producer and director. He gives his team all the credit for the game's massive success. The industry is already buzzing about their achievements. Makoto admits he couldn't have pulled that off as a student, confirming Akatoru's popularity is deserved. But before they get to the main quest, he tells Akatoru to order some loot. Akatoru thinks the guest is a manager, so he's ready to make a high-tier impression. Suddenly, Makoto starts shamelessly flirting with the waitress, even asking her out during her shift. Akatoru is shook by the audacity and calls him out, but Makoto is just too confident. He claims he's leaving a lasting impression, and Akatoru has to retreat to the bathroom to reset his brain. He's so distracted that he misses the broken lock debuff on the door. He walks right in and accidentally finds Mashiro, who is still currently on the toilet. Before he can even process the scene, she punches him into the next week. Meanwhile, back at the office, Iroha is bored because she has nobody to torment. A colleague asks about their status, but she insists there's nothing going on. Back at the cafe, Akatoru realizes Mashiro is the guest his uncle invited. She's his cousin, but he hasn't seen her since they were low-level kids. Makoto finally reveals the real mission. He wants Akatoru to be her fake boyfriend. In exchange, he'll fast-track the HPW application. Akatoru is stunned, and Mashiro thinks the idea is completely mid, but Makoto is dead serious. He's worried about her transferring to a co-ed school and wants a bodyguard. Mashiro rejects the plan, and Akatoru asks why she's even transferring. She refuses to explain, and Makoto keeps the backstory hidden for now. All we know is she's been a total truant and barely attended class, which is a major red flag. Surprisingly, Akatoru doesn't pry into her character lore and accepts the situation. Since his team's future depends on it, he takes the deal. Mashiro reluctantly agrees, but only if the relationship stays 100% fake. Akatoru offers a handshake, but she leaves him hanging because of the bathroom incident. Makoto thinks they'll vibe, but they both strongly disagree with that assessment. One last warning, absolutely zero real romantic moves are allowed. Akatoru is fine with that because she clearly hates his guts anyway. He's surrounded by mean girls and can't figure out why anyone thinks that's love. Either way, his fake boyfriend job officially starts tomorrow. Looking back, our boy still can't wrap his head around why catching attitude equals catching feelings. I mean, his entire party is basically just aggressive top-tier waifus. Either way, his fake boyfriend quest officially kicks off tomorrow. The next morning, Iroha pulls up and instantly scans that our MC's vibes are totally off. She starts digging for lore, guessing his sour mood is tied to that secret meeting. He keeps his mouth shut, but she goes full stalker mode and tails him anyway. Neither of them spots Sumaya escorting the new girl Mashiro through the halls. When class drops, Mashiro gets hit with the classic transfer student introduction, but her nerves glitch out and she casually drops that she's dating our MC. The whole server instantly crashes, with the NPCs mouthing over how a 10 out of 10 waifu chose a mob character. Some rando named Suzuki asks for the lore, and Mashiro accidentally snitches that they met in the bathroom. Akatoru starts sweating bullets, knowing his reputation is taking massive damage. She claims the MC seat right next to him, but when he tries playing nice, she goes full Ice Queen, saying she still hasn't forgiven his stats. Akatoru begs for a truce, pointing out they need to fake some chemistry if they want to clear this quest. Mashiro totally rejects the idea, claiming as long as the lore matches, they don't need to act buddy-buddy. Azuma tags Akatoru, demanding to know why he was gatekeeping his girlfriend's status. Our boy hits him with the "my bad," but hints that he and Mashiro aren't exactly doing a real romance run. During the lunch break, Akatoru info dumps the entire fake dating questline. Azuma just laughs, saying our guy is literally living in a rom-com anime. Akatoru hits back, saying Azuma has peak MC energy with his little sister trope, even if Iroha is too unhinged for the usual siscon plot. Azuma smirks, claiming it's because Iroha's already fully maxed out her affection meter for Akatoru. Our boy instantly hits the deny button, but Azuma just trolls him and dips to grab food. Suzuki respawns and asks how he pulled a top-tier waifu when the whole server thought he was locked in with Iroha. Feeling Mashiro's death glare, Akatoru speedruns the clarification that Iroha is just the bro's sister, then redirects aggro to Suzuki's crush on their teacher, hyping the NPC up so much he storms out. Still taking mental damage from Mashiro's glare, Akatoru sighs and asks what her deal is. She hits him with a fetch quest, demanding seafood rice balls because it's his duty as the boyfriend to play servant. She even threatens to rage quit their fake dating pact if he declines. Taking the L, our MC completes the quest and spawns back with her rice balls and a drink. He takes his seat and sadly munches on a basic bread item he bought for himself. He wonders if her jealousy stats spiked after hearing about Iroha, but scraps the idea since Mashiro obviously treats him like trash. Next phase starts as Suma takes the front, checking if the noobs actually did their daily quests. Some NPC admits he forgot, instantly triggering Sumaya's boss phase. She unleashes a massive AoE lecture, calling them absolute scum if they lack discipline. The kid tries to parry, but she animation cancels his excuse, finally letting him off with a strict warning. Akatoru side-eyes Mashiro and catches her hyper-focusing on the teacher. He realizes having a demon-tier boss as a homeroom teacher might be rough for a new player. Before the bell rings, Sumaya stops and single targets Akatoru. She drops a mandatory side quest, telling him to meet her in the counseling room. He casually accepts, but once she's gone, the NPCs swarm him, mind blown that he didn't flinch at her terrifying aura. Our op MC just shrugs, saying she won't literally zero his HP and heads to the room. When he enters the domain, it straight up looks like a medieval torture chamber. He drops into the center seat, and instantly Sumaya drops her entire boss persona. She literally dozes on the floor, begging our MC for mercy. Akatoru flips his switch too. Suddenly, he's projecting massive gigachad energy. Sumaya starts spamming excuses about being swamped with teacher lag and lesson plans, but Akatoru whips out the receipts, showing her online logs to prove she's been totally slacking off. Turns out, Sumaya has a secret alt account named Shubuku Murasaki. In the real world, she's a venomous queen, but in the MC's guild, she's just their illustrator who constantly chokes on her deadlines. Akatoru throws her strict class dialogue back in her face, hitting her pride for critical damage. She cries that her demon teacher build is just roleplay to keep the students in line. Sighing at his pathetic guildmate, Akatoru asks to see her actual progress bar. Sweating buckets, she hands over her tablet, and it's literally a blank canvas. Fully tilted, Akatoru tries to toss her into a torture device and yanks her ponytail as she struggles to escape. Sumaya screams that she's been hit with the artist's block debuff. Dropping her hair, our MC sighs and says she should have just pinged him for help. She whines that asking for help would completely ruin her cool girl aesthetic. Running out of patience, Akatoru hits a few pressure points on her shoulder to snap her out of it. He lets go, muttering that he never thought a high-tier teacher could be this useless. Flashback to their first encounter. Our boy was grinding a manga con, scouting for artists, but his RNG was terrible. Just before rage quitting, he spotted a spicy doujin with some wild taboo romance. The art was so god-tier, it instantly locked him in. But when he pulled up to recruit the artist, she turned around and plot twist, it was his homeroom teacher. Big brain Akatoru basically blackmailed her with this secret to force her into his guild. Sumaya still copes that the RNG screwed her, since the MC now controls her entire teacher reputation. Akatoru tells her to hold that L, and since she's in the party, she better start dropping game drafts. Sumaya groans that the artist block debuff is still active. Akatoru suggests they sleep on it, but she completely misreads the vibes and blurts out she isn't into high school boys. Akatoru roasts her for having her head in the gutter, telling her to pop a food item so she can actually focus. He generously patches her deadline with a half-day extension, instantly buffing her mood. Before he logs out, Sumaya asks for the real lore between him and Mashiro. Akatoru leaks the fake dating strat they're pulling to secure funding from his uncle's corp. Sumaya then drops some heavy lore, saying the admins have a special protocol for handling Mashiro. Akatoru instantly guesses it's because she's a total neat. That's all his intel covers, so Sumaya explains that Mashiro got hard griefed at her old school. Some toxic players found out her hidden stats and used it to totally bully her. Sumaya doesn't know the exact lore, but tasks Akatoru with making sure Mashiro doesn't rage quit this school. She wants her to actually enjoy the server and trusts our MC to carry her through it. Akatoru tries to dodge the praise, but Sumaya forces the W on him, reminding him that he literally saved her and Azuma's playthroughs. Deadpan, our boy just tells her that kissing up won't earn her another deadline patch. Post-meeting, Akatoru spawns back in class and tries to trigger a walk-home event with Mashiro. Mashiro, however, straight up rejects the prompt and tells him to back off. The NPC chat goes wild, thinking Mashiro's just playing the classic Tsundia build, and that the two are already giving off married couple vibes. Taking massive emotional damage from the chat, Mashiro panics and logs out of the room. Akatoru just watches her dash, wondering why her aggro is so high against him. Azuma reads his face and drops the insight that Mashiro definitely isn't a bad person. Our MC agrees, but notes she needs to at least let him in the party so he can tank for her. He asks his bro for a walkthrough, but Azuma admits this quest is basically on hard mode since her affection is in the negatives. Flying solo at the lockers, our guy suddenly gets stealth hugged from behind. A super familiar, chaotic voice hits his ears, and he instantly IDs it as Iroha. He tells her to unequip, but she claims she's just offering premium waifu support. Pressing in closer, Iroha teases that if she lets go, he's gonna lose out on some major softness buffs. Only then does our dense MC realize her plot armor is pressing right into his back. To make it spicier, Akatoru realizes something is missing, and Iroha confirms the dangerous truth. She casually drops that she went totally commando today. She claims her stats leveled up recently, making all her starting gear too tight. Even her uniform is clipping, with buttons popping off, meaning if she steps back, the whole server's getting a flashbang. Akatoru thinks it's a bluff, but the 1% chance she's serious stops him from throwing her off. If it's a troll, he'll just look like a clown. But if it's true, shoving her away could wipe his friendship with Azuma and void the guild's contract with his uncle. Plus, if an NPC catches them like this, the rumor mill will say he's two-timing Mashiro. Doing some quick math, Akatoru sweeps her legs and locks her into a mandatory piggyback carry. Iroha starts panicking as the MC calls her bluff, daring her to admit she lied, but she refuses to fold. Akatoru speedruns out of the school, taking the stealth route to avoid random encounters. Flustered by the sudden sprint mechanics, Iroha finally taps out and surrenders, making him hit the brakes. He refuses to drop her until she fully apologizes for trolling his playthrough. When he finally sets her down and scolds her, he realizes she wasn't entirely lying about the missing armor pieces. Walking back to base together, Akatoru asks if she has any cheat codes for unlocking a difficult waifu. Iroha's HP drops thinking he actually found a crush, but Akatoru patches things up by explaining the Mashiro questline. He claims it's all just for the loot drop, but Iroha insists that deep down, our boy just wants a new party member. Smirking, she tells him to let her cook, promising to coach him on how to secure the Mashiro route. Next session, Akatoru spawns in wearing a literal dog collar and offers to carry Mashiro's inventory. During the lunch phase, he serves her up a premium meal buff. Post-class, he even offers his back as a legendary mount. but all this simp energy just spikes Mashiro's aggro. She yanks his leash and drags him into the stairwell to demand what kind of strat this is. Thinking he's griefing her, she's stunned when Akatoru admits he feels like a total clown too. Explaining it was just one of Iroha's troll strats, he admits he knew the success rate was 0%, which only tilts Mashiro even harder. She out loud wonders if he really hates her guts that much. Before the MC can hit the dialogue choice, Iroha spawns in and teases their rom-com moment. Mashiro asks who this new player is, and Iroha cheerfully claims she's the final boss behind it all. Seeing their high synergy, Mashiro can't help but notice these two are basically co-op partners. Suddenly, Mashiro drops the party, snapping at them to stop ruining her solo run. Later, when Akatoru and Iroha load back to base, they are stunned to find Mashiro in their lobby. Mashiro hits them with a stalker accusation, but they quickly explain their spawn points are all in this exact building. Iroha happily adds she's basically his sister by law, since her real brother is his duo partner. Mashiro completely misreads the chat and thinks they're all shacked up, forcing Akatoru to clarify they just share the same floor. Sumaya holds down the base next to Azuma, and Iroha has her own solo pad. Dropping Sumaya's name triggers Mashiro, who screams that she hates this server layout before rage slamming her door. Walking right up to her door, our GigaChad MC declares he is officially making her his main questline. Akatoru decides to summon his party for an emergency strategy meeting right in his room. He pitches a welcome party quest for Mashiro to celebrate her spawning into their apartment block. The raid is set for Friday at 8 PM, but Iroha doubts the new waifu will even log in. Our MC just smirks with pure op confidence, claiming they just need to spam her with aggro until his master plan works. But before the main event, the 5th Floor Alliance throws their own mini-party for beating their project deadline. Sumaya starts chugging potions way too fast, making Akatoru roast her for always choking on her art quests. Suddenly, Akatoru realizes Iroha is acting super docile, which is totally out of character. She admits she feels like an NPC since she isn't officially in the guild, but she's still hyped for the free XP. Akatoru just gives her a side-eye, entirely creeped out by her polite mode since she's usually a total menace. Azuma drops a massive compliment on Akatoru's cooking stats, hyping up his legendary roast beef. Our boy deflects the praise back, hyping Azuma's god-tier engineering for speedrunning their uploads and saving the deadline. Azuma acts like a humble NPC, claiming his tech skills are basically just tutorial-level stuff. But then he drops the lore that Akatoru is the real op carry, since the MC literally gave him the platform to shine in the first place. Iroha smiles at their peak bromance, before Azuma realizes their final party member Namako is MIA. Akatoru explains Namako is busy grinding a solo quest and couldn't make the lobby. For context, Namako is the guild's god-tier lore writer. Our MC originally just slid into Namako's DMs with a fanboy letter and was absolutely shook when they actually accepted the party invite. They've never actually met IRL, but based on the chat logs, Namako is super professional, unlike a certain other adult in the room. Sumaya instantly takes psychic damage and drunkenly whines about the stray shot. Akatoru completely ignores her aggro, staying locked onto the Namako hype. Realizing she's heavily debuffed, he checks her inventory, and Iroha reveals the absolute toxic mix Sumaya's been chugging. Sumaya randomly shouts that her HP is maxed and lunges for a hug, but our MC easily parries the attack. Dodging the drunk teacher, Akatoru pivots the chat back to their master plan for Mashiro's surprise raid. Fast forward to 6 days before the event, our MC starts spamming Mashiro's doorbell to trigger the invite sequence. She finally opens up, and he hits her with a blinding MC smile, launching right into the party dialogue. But before he can even finish the cutscene, she rage quits and slams the door in his face. Sunday rolls around and he tries to rerun the quest, only to find she literally disabled her doorbell. Totally unbothered, he decides to just spam her mailbox with physical invite items instead. 4 days left, and Akatoru starts passing her notes in class like it's a stealth mission. They keep trading messages until Mashiro asks if his mailbox spam technically counts as PvP bullying. Our boy instantly denies the griefing allegations, saying he just wants her at the dinner raid. Mashiro isn't buying it, claiming her inbox looked like a literal trash dump from all his spam. He tries to secure her line ID for direct messaging, but gets instantly rejected. Taking a tactical retreat, Akatoru vows to try a new strat the next day. Unfortunately, Mashiro completely ghosts him and stays out of his aggro range. On Wednesday, he finally corner camps her at the elevator, but she just reports him for stalking. Thursday hits and he triggers the dialogue in public, prompting Mashiro to furiously scold him. After the school phase, Akatoru and Iroha hit the shops to gather crafting materials for the party. While scanning the loot, Iroha gets totally distracted by an NPC handing out free cheese-stuffed sausage items. She tries to force-feed our MC, but he gets embarrassed and rejects the buff. The merchant NPC totally misreads their synergy and tells him to feed his girlfriend. He declines again, but the NPC hits him with a guilt trip, saying his waifu looks depressed. Not wanting to lose face, Akatoru swallows his pride and accepts the food item. But right as he reaches for the loot, Iroha yanks it away, trolling him to beg for it like a total sadist. Knowing she's just trying to drain his sanity points, Akatoru decides to just play along with her minigame. As Iroha literally spoon-feeds him, he secretly plots his ultimate revenge arc. He eats the sausage and admits the stats are great, while the merchant NPC just watches them with a wholesome smile. Moving to the next zone, Akatoru asks how Iroha can spam the "I love you" voice line so casually. Iroha claims it's easy when her affection meter is actually high, making Akatoru compare her to Mashiro, who literally can't output a single honest feeling. Iroha asks if the MC has finally convinced the tsundere to accept the party invite. Our boy admits his quest log is completely stuck right now. Reaching for a top-shelf tomato sauce item, Iroha struggles while teasing that he's just not grinding hard enough. She reminds him that when his determination stat is maxed, he's unstoppable. I mean, he literally recruited Azuma and Sumaya into their god-tier guild. Akatoru plays it cool, saying optimizing the party was necessary for their studio's survival. But Iroha calls him out, saying his true op skill is reading people's hidden desires and forcing them to break their limits. Akatoru insists he just couldn't stand seeing top-tier players wasting their stats on trash mobs instead of the main quest. Iroha just smiles, telling him his real ultimate ability is carrying people from their basic dreams to actual reality. She finally snags the loot but totally whiffs her balance check, nearly eating the floor before Akatoru hits a perfect parry to catch her. Totally unfazed, Iroha grins and adds that another one of his op traits is keeping the guild grounded so they don't abuse their freedom, claiming that's exactly why Azuma gave him admin privileges in the first place. Catching the charisma buff from her words, Akatoru restores his motivation to drag Mashiro to this raid. Meanwhile, back at Mashiro's base, she's huffing massive copium, telling herself there's no way the MC forces her to attend. The day of the event drops, but Akatoru's RNG is trash and he gets 0 openings during the school phase. Instead, he pings Azuma to ensure the lobby is fully prepped. Azuma confirms the setup, jokingly reminding the MC he owes him big time for speed crafting everything in under a week. Dripping with confidence, Akatoru exits the room, officially kicking off the final phase of Operation Waifu Retrieval. He cuts her off at the shoe lockers, but Mashiro instantly casts a rejection spell, telling him to drop the quest. Akatoru holds his hands up, promising he's done with the spam tactics, but Mashiro's trust meter is still at absolute 0. He claims he just wants to co-op the walk back to base, since they share a spawn point anyway. But before he can even blink, this girl is already using her dash ability to escape. Our boy is left standing there, wondering if her hatred stat is literally maxed out. Still, the master plan requires them to travel together, so he pops a sprint buff and chases her down. Mashiro spots him in her rear view and shifts into overdrive, screaming at him as the most intense game of tag begins. Akatoru plays dumb, claiming he just really loves speed-running his way home. Knowing he's totally capping, Mashiro violently jukes into a new route. Eventually, her stamina bar depletes, and she collapses by a random riverbank. She snaps at him to drop the aggro, insisting she's just a solo player who doesn't fit into established guilds. She tells him to just go enjoy his own high-tier playthrough and leave her out of his party. Akatoru drops the smile and asks what kind of trash endgame she's aiming for if she plays completely solo. He presses her hard, asking what the point of transferring servers was if she's just gonna ghost every NPC she meets. He formally apologizes for the bathroom disaster, saying it's fine if she hates his guts, but she needs to start building her friend list. Mashiro spins around to counterattack, but totally fails her agility check and slips. Akatoru dives to catch her, but the physics engine glitches, and they both plunge straight into the river. Now completely soaked, Akatoru has to stare at the sky because her wet shirt debuff is way too distracting. Panicking, she tries to stand up but whiffs her footing a second time. Our GigaChad MC catches her, pulling her close to finally stabilize her stance. Dragging themselves to shore, Akatoru jokes that their matching, drowned rat skins actually make them look like a legit couple. Mashiro actually drops a genuine laugh for the first time, admitting this is the worst cosmetic combo ever. Sensing her defenses dropping, Akatoru pushes the joke, claiming maybe the devs are finally blessing their fake dating questline. Mashiro bluntly states that those devs deserve to get cancelled, and Akatoru tells her a little prayer might actually buff her self-esteem. She sighs, saying no amount of praying is gonna magically reverse her negative reputation stats. Genuinely curious, our boy asks why her guard is so high when he's basically spamming friendship emotes. She accidentally leaks that it's because of the forced contract with her dad, but quickly backpedals, knowing it isn't his fault. Dropping her tsundere act, she quietly admits she just hopes he doesn't actually hate her. Akatoru instantly patches her insecurity, promising that literally nobody on the server hates her. Mashiro finally unloads her trauma, admitting she's terrified of becoming a ghost player that everyone just ignores. Seeing her mental HP dropping, Akatoru gently reminds her that having anxiety debuffs is totally normal. He hits her with some real talk, admitting he's basically just a background character himself. He constantly gets skipped over because he doesn't have any flashy op abilities. He claims he's just a totally average mob with a basic skill tree. But Mashiro instantly calls cap, protesting that the leader of the legendary 5th Floor Alliance could never be ordinary. Akatoru's jaw hits the floor, completely stunned that she actually knows his guild's name. Mashiro quickly covers her tracks, saying her dad always hypes up their game because of the insane loot it generated. Akatoru corrects the law, clarifying that all the gold just gets pumped straight back into server costs. She points out he could easily be the most popular guy in class with that flex, but he drops the bomb that their dev status is a complete secret. She's shocked, asking if he's hiding his power level because he's scared of the haters. Akatoru claims he just wants to stay humble and not let their massive success turn him into a total ego boss. Hearing his GigaChad mindset, Mashiro smiles and affectionately calls him a total weirdo. Eventually, they finally fast travel back to their apartment base. Mashiro still formally rejects the party invite, but admits she's grateful for the prompt. As she approaches her door, Akatoru asks if they can finally reset their aggro back to neutral next week. She agrees, but suddenly freezes when she realizes her base is completely unlocked. They instantly go on high alert, thinking a rogue player broke into her room. Akatoru acts as the tank, stepping in front to clear the room and make sure the zone is safe. They stealthily creep into the dark apartment together. Right as they hit the main room, Akatoru mutters a cheat code, gently shoves Mashiro forward and throws the door wide open. Boom, confetti cannons explode as the entire 5th Floor Alliance jumps out to surprise her. Completely mind-blown, Mashiro screams, demanding to know why this whole guild is camping in her room. Akatoru awkwardly rubs his neck and drops the plot twist. This is actually his base. They literally installed a fake divider wall in the hallway to glitch her map and make her think his door was hers. Mashiro is stunned, asking why they went through all this insane effort when she doesn't even have them on her friend list. Iroha casually drops in that none of them are really friends either, except the MC and Azuma, though she'd rather ship those two as a couple. Suma's Fujoshi brain instantly activates, writing a whole BL fanfic in her head until Akatoru violently bonks her. Iroha keeps going, explaining that since they share the same spawn floor, they naturally just formed a party. Mashiro casually drops that she knows about their dev guild, completely surprising Iroha with her leaked intel. Iroha quickly clarifies that she's technically just a guest character, not an official dev. Akatoru steps in, saying it's fine if Mashiro doesn't add them as friends right now. She can just treat them as her fake boyfriend's NPCs. He mentions their MIA member Namako, hyping them up as a crucial part of the squad. Mashiro finally drops her guard, smiles at the wholesome vibes, and officially joins the lobby. Post-party, Iroha launches a sneak attack hug on Akatoru, but he perfectly iframes out of the way. Dropping the troll act, she genuinely praises his S-tier charisma for pulling Mashiro into the group, calling him a true hero. She then warmly thanks him for letting her hang with the guild, keeping her ultimate secret hidden, that she's actually the legendary voice actress for their game. The episode ends with Iroha hinting at her double life as the 5th Floor Alliance's ultimate secret weapon. The rest of the squad has zero clue she's secretly the one voice acting, but she's just happy to be vibing with the group. She's also super grateful that Akatoru was the one who initially sent her the party invite. Akatoru decides to hit her with a flashback sequence. In his lore drop, Akatoru originally approached Azuma, asking to check out his tech builds. Azuma accepted the quest, but only if the MC promised to visit his base regularly. Akatoru clicked accept, and that's how their co-op run officially started. Shortly after, Akatoru's parent NPCs transferred to a new map, so he moved into the same apartment server as Azuma. One afternoon, our boy caught Azuma hyperfixating on the hallway floor tiles. When he asked what kind of minigame he was playing, Azuma claimed he was just running background calculations using the tiles as reference points. Akatoru offered to let him AFK at his base, but Azuma declined, saying his sister was about to spawn in. Right on cue, Iroha loaded into the hallway, looking totally confused to see Azuma locked out of his own base. Azuma explained he forgot his inventory keys and was waiting for her to unlock the door. Iroha then spotted Akatoru, prompting Azuma to drop the intro dialogue, calling him his friend, neighbor, and classmate. Iroha's character model actually flinched. She completely doubted Azuma had the social stats to make a friend. Akatoru dropped a polite greeting, and Iroha matched his energy. That was the very first time our MC encountered Iroha. He remembers her original build being super reserved and polite, literally nothing like the chaotic menace she is now. The next day, Akatoru brought up Iroha, noting that Azuma literally never talked about her, and she was basically a ghost NPC in the building. Right then, Otto swaggered into the classroom lobby, drawing massive aggro from the crowd since everyone thought she caught a suspension ban. Otto marched right up to our duo and initiated a mandatory dialogue sequence. They followed her to a private zone, where Ott apologized and offered them some candy loot. Akatoru pointed out that consuming items was against server rules, which only made Ott laugh. She told them to drop the strict roleplay, especially when talking to a known truant player. Her dialogue confused them, since the server rumors said she was currently banned. She sighed, disappointed by the fake law, claiming she hadn't actually triggered any suspension flags. Azuma suddenly interrupted, asking if he could snag one of the candy drops. As he took the loot, Akatoru reluctantly accepted one too. Ott then asked if Iroha was Azuma's sister, demanding to know what her character alignment was. Azuma totally blanked on the question, shocking Akatoru, since Azuma is usually super blunt. Ott lost patience, saying it was a literal tutorial-level question. Akatoru defended his bro, explaining Azuma's dialogue options were blocked because he didn't know her hidden motives. Seeing his logic, Otto leaked the intel. Asagi noticed Iroha was trying to join the delinquent faction, so she wanted to check if her stats matched the class requirement. But based on their confused reactions, Ott realized her intel was flawed. Iroha was just a standard on a student build. She admitted she was just hoping to uncover Iroha's true personality traits. Akatoru asked if their guild was planning to recruit her, and Otto confirmed that if Iroha sent a request, they'd accept her into the party. She then logged out of the zone, leaving Akatoru to ask Azuma if his mental HP was okay, since he fumbled such an easy question. Azuma admitted his bond level with Iroha was basically 0, and they had 0 shared lore besides their spawn point. He even dropped the bomb that yesterday was the first time they triggered a dialogue sequence in 2 whole months. Akatoru was stunned. He'd never heard of party members living in the same base but totally ghosting each other. He asked if the parent NPCs ever intervened, but Azuma said they were always AFK on work quests. Akatoru couldn't help but feel his bro's family lore was incredibly dark. Wanting to buff his mood, he asked Azuma if they could team up at his base after school for some gaming. After the school phase, Azuma let him into the lobby, and Akatoru immediately noticed the living room lacked a TV unit. Azuma explained it was unnecessary since he basically lived inside his own room. They entered his zone, and Akatoru was greeted by an absolute disaster area, with loot and items scattered everywhere. He told Azuma to run a cleanup script, but Azuma claimed the chaotic layout actually boosted his workflow. He even argued that a cluttered environment gave him a passive buff to his creativity stats. He tossed Akatoru a controller so he could initialize the console. While Azuma was booting up, Akatoru noticed his bro was running a custom-built, god-tier PC rig. Once the game started, Akatoru heard Iroha spawn into the apartment. He used the bathroom break excuse to exit the room, but his real mission was stealthing around to gather intel on Iroha. Sneaking closer to her door, his perception check revealed she was locked in voice chat with another player. But right as he leaned in to eavesdrop, Iroha yanked the door open, catching our MC completely off guard in full stealth mode. She was about to trigger an alarm scream, but Akatoru speed blitzed her, covered her mouth, and dragged her back into her room. He initiated a quick time event, promising to let go if she didn't alert the server. She nodded, but the second he released her, she hit him with a critical slap. Iroha's eyes widened when she realized she just hit Akatoru, and he frantically tried to cancel his aggro. But Iroha had already assigned him the creep tag for infiltrating her base. She even accused him of catching feelings at first sight and turning into a full-blown stalker NPC. Akatoru violently denied the allegations, but before he could clear his name, Iroha's phone started ringing in his hand. She snatched it back to tell Asagi she'd rejoin the lobby later. Akatoru asked if she was using Asagi to unlock the delinquent faction, but Iroha snapped at him for making assumptions. Our MC held his ground, telling her not to cap since he already data-mined the truth. Iroha's anger spiked, telling him to mind his own playthrough, but Akatoru countered that as Azuma's bro, he had a duty to intervene. Iroha fired back that being in Azuma's party didn't mean anything since they were basically strangers themselves. Akatoru realized this questline was way more complex than he thought. He knew Azuma was already struggling with his social stats at school due to his weird build. If Iroha started joining toxic guilds, it could trigger a chain reaction of debuffs that would ruin Azuma's reputation too. He tried a softer dialogue option, asking if Iroha wanted to unload her emotional baggage, but that just spiked her annoyance meter, and she sarcastically stated her only problem was this annoying NPC refusing to leave her room. Over the next few days, our MC decided to do some solo grinding for intel. He faked a fever debuff to log out of school early. The server temperature was insanely high, so he hit a vending machine to restore his hydration stats. After popping the water item, he kept exploring the map until he heard a girl playing a guitar minigame. His radar instantly pinged. It had to be Asagi. As he moved in, Asagi clocked his school uniform and asked if he was exploiting a skip school glitch. Akatoru grumbled that he wasn't taking lectures from a middle schooler who was clearly also ignoring the main questline. Asagi was stunned he knew her username and instantly slapped him with the stalker label. Akatoru speedran his explanation, clarifying he only tracked her down because he was partied up with Azuma. Connecting the law, Asagi realized this was the same guy Iroha had been rage-venting about. Akatoru tried to officially introduce his character, so she dropped the creep accusations, but Asagi just assigned him the nickname upperclassman and moved on. Before he could start the next dialogue tree, the extreme heat debuff fully drained his stamina bar. His screen went black, and his character model collapsed right in front of her. Akatoru remembers that server wipe vividly. It was literally the hottest day of the patch. He tells Iroha that Asagi had to ping Otto for a rescue, and thanks to their support class, he survived. Iroha listens, then aggressively calls him out for exploiting Otto's lap as a premium pillow while he was AFK. Akatoru takes the hit but claims Ott was the one who initiated the action, and that they unlocked a ton of new dialogue options after he revived. He adds that the entire chaotic questline was an absolute W, because it united their whole squad, even if they still don't realize Iroha is their secret voice actor. Jumping back into the flashback, Akatoru initiated a sit-down event with both Asagi and Iroha. He tried to persuade Asagi to drop her delinquent class, arguing that testing out the standard student build might actually buff her stats. Iroha immediately countered, saying the MC was griefing by trying to force Asagi out of her current guild. Akatoru stayed calm, explaining he wasn't trying to force a guild disband at all. He just wanted her to review her skill tree options, but Iroha kept spamming insults, claiming he lacked the empathy stats to understand their gameplay. Trying to drop some wisdom, Akatoru pointed out that Asagi definitely wanted more than just a casual party, noting her high proficiency in the music skill line. He then turned the spotlight on Iroha, asking what her ultimate goal was. Iroha dodged the prompt, saying it didn't matter. Our boy wasn't letting her skip the cutscene. He insisted it mattered. Whether she wanted to spec into friendship or music, she had to lock in her build. As Akatoru pushed for an answer, Asagi stepped in, telling him his interrogation tactics were way too aggressive. Asagi dropped the truth bomb that Iroha wasn't even grinding the musician class, and that Akatoru needed to back off. Iroha's character model froze, completely shocked that Asagi had read her hidden stats. Asagi explained that as a high-level bard, she could easily tell Iroha had zero intent to perform and was just a hardcore fan of the genre. Iroha admitted defeat, confessing that she just massively admired Asagi's confidence. Akatoru totally botched his perception check and asked if they were secretly running a romance route. Iroha furiously denied the ship, clarifying she just respected how Asagi fearlessly grinded the skills she loved. Akatoru still couldn't compute why Iroha needed to join the delinquent guild just to mimic that energy. Seeing Iroha struggling with her dialogue, Asagi leaked the darkest lore yet, Iroha's home base was basically a prison with zero freedom or hobbies allowed. Akataru was totally confused. Sure, Azuma's base lacked a TV, but Iroha still had max internet access and other items. Asagi explained that it didn't matter, Iroha's fun meter was permanently locked, and she had just been blindly following the rules. Akataru asked if her current rogue behavior was basically her betraying her mother's guild rules. Iroha quietly confirmed the betrayal, but admitted her own quest log was completely empty. Our MC took a second to process the data. Unlike Asagi and Azuma, who had full sandbox freedom, Iroha was trapped in a completely linear tutorial mode. She couldn't even test out new classes. With his protagonist resolve fully maxed, Akataru vowed to create a new server where everyone could grind their dream skills without getting hit with the delinquent debuff by the mods. Asagi complained that his White Knight routine was annoying and rejected his support buffs, but our GigaChad MC stood his ground, declaring he was forcing them into his party because it would ultimately level up both him and Azuma. Asagi asked for the strategy guide, but Akataru admitted his plan was currently at 0%. Still, his charisma carried the moment, assuring them he'd figure out the mechanics. After dropping gold for his meal, Akataru logged out, his brain already overclocking on how to secure the good ending for everyone. He needed a quest that could utilize both god-tier coding and music stats. Suddenly, the ultimate idea spawned in his head. He crashed Azuma's room and pitched the idea, "Let's become game devs." Azuma was shocked by the sudden quest prompt, but listened as our boy laid out the full roadmap. Akataru knew that with Azuma carrying the programming workload, they'd easily clear the development phase. What our MC didn't realize was the insane amount of grinding Azuma had to do just to compile the code. Meanwhile, Akataru focused on the creative side, drafting the character lore, storyline, and beta artwork. For the alpha build, they just ripped public domain tracks to test the engine's capabilities. During one of their late-night dev streams, Azuma confessed he was actually enjoying the co-op experience. He explained that while solo tinkering was fine, building a massive project with a duo partner just hit different. He was genuinely hyped that their creation was about to launch globally for other players. Akataru agreed and then dropped his master stroke. He already had the perfect beta testers lined up, revealing his plan to pull Iroha and Asagi right into their newly formed guild.